Hey everyone, how you doing today? Thought I would get busy on this Legacy Combat CV for Reforged Eden 2 again. So one thing that was brought up in comments that I just did a quick swap in place with is these big weapons that I've been putting on here being triple plasma guns. I didn't realize, I guess I didn't look, but there's an arrow next to the part set here, and there's an alternative version, which is a main plasma battery. Now I was comparing the specs and stats between the two, and quite frankly, they seem identical. They use the same ammo, they count as the same weapon type, but they are physically smaller. So I placed one here right now on the side, and it's a couple blocks narrower. So it's just not quite as big as the other one, but it appears to do the exact same damage and everything else. So that is good to know. I didn't even think to look at alternative model parts there, and they can fluctuate a little bit in size. So these are smaller to fit, which is kind of cool. So these could be replaced into doing something like that as well. Well, what I really wanted to do is start to work on the hull some more here and try to get maybe the next chunk done, and maybe start to work on the this whole middle section here. And I'll probably end up doing like the thruster housings last here, I think. So let me turn on symmetry. I did set that already, so it's kind of ready to go. But what I really got to do is figure out how I'm going to do the block work around this area here and join these two pieces together. And it's a little different than it was over here. Over here, they were separated, and you'd kind of line up some blocks in there and put in a little bit of round stuff. Here, it is different and kind of tricky. I've been kind of looking at this, trying to figure out how I'm going to do it. Now, keep in mind, I am doing this right now out of carbon, and a lot of these blocks are going to be switched over to steel or hardened steel or something else with a multi-tool individually. But if I built the whole thing out of a tougher material to start with, then it's kind of stuck with that throughout the whole haul, which is going to be thousands of blocks. So it's already going to be hard to move, and you don't even have any like specific extra tough spots. Now, obviously, the nose and front part of the ship is going to have to be very tough for being the kind of ship that it is in legacy space and stuff like that. But at the moment, I'm really trying to figure out how to make this thruster area prettier. And that's kind of what I'm trying to figure out a way to do it. And just going to try some different things and see what would happen here. Figure I'd try like a thin block that could go over this, or something like that maybe, and then try to make a neat looking thruster housing. But since I'm going with a thicker setup anyway, I think I'm going to try to do the half block there. At least in some places. Let's see if we can get one down here. Let me turn off my light a second too. Actually making it harder to see. Oh, let's say if there was a block. Oh, I did that backwards. Block like that. And let's put in... Oh man, I don't know. Let's try... guess that on the edge, and then on the inside here, I think we're gonna have to use this. So it kind of lines up to that same angle, but then goes to a half block like that, and we can kind of pop something normal in here. But I'm going to put in one of these so I can try to come up with a texture. No, actually that's not going to work. I wanted to have that little indentation in there for a possible texture light, but because of the width of that, it's not going to work out for that. I'll keep that block anyway. It's a little bit of fine detail in there. Alright, so now maybe I'm taking this up too high here. Maybe this ought to come in at this point. So let's bring in a half block here. And we'll do the same on the bottom. And we can get rid of that. And just try to draw like some kind of thruster housing that fits with the ship somehow. And I'm not exactly sure how this is going to come out yet. I have no ideas. Well, here, I'm going to just try to do that for a second here. See what that would generally look like as a big shape. And also, let me white everything out here. It's kind of centered. Now, these turrets are really bothering me because they're like in front of it. So that's something else I might have to deal with here sooner or later. Alright, so that kind of works there, but let's do something with the blocks here and see if we can come up with a way to flare it out on the edge or modify the edge somehow. Not sure how this is going to work out either. That's a kind of a weird block shape there. I'm going to try to look at some of these alternative blocks and see if one of these could possibly look neat somehow. That ain't going to do it. Yeah, there's some of these other ones, like this is a really cool looking block if you can use it in the right place. Like it, oh, it actually does kind of work there, doesn't it? Yeah, let's try the alternative one for the bottom side. And then, yeah, I guess we could just put in a regular block like this. And that would allow that texture light to properly work as well. Just, let's just go here, and let me just set it to a big bright color a second. Paint that surface, so then we get a neat little texture light there on the sides. Alright, so let's see what we can do across the top over here. And right now I'm not thinking there's too many blocks that could possibly work with this besides just a straight up 45. I was trying to make like a thinner look here so it kind of stands out. So what if we went with a half block here as well? Could provide interesting like paint trim and stuff like that, and also leave that lip there around the thruster housing. Gonna be pretty rigid right here though. Okay, so on the bottom side, that actually does stick out further than the rest of it does right now. So I think what I'm gonna do is get rid of that row for now. Don't really want it to go past that point there. I'm not sure if I want to keep that angle or not. It doesn't quite line up with the thruster housing, but maybe it'll work. Okay, so let's grab that and I'll swap it to that block. And this looks like a mess right in here now too. Let me just put in a couple blocks here to fill that in. Guess what I'm not liking now is how this is lining up on the edge here. But I don't think I can change that and maintain this kind of frame piece around the thruster there. Alright, so now another big thing too, that's, I guess it's started, it's not quite there yet, but now I got to figure out how to attach this to that. Obviously the shapes and everything don't line up, it's quite a bit different. So I'm probably going to do the method of a breakup, of, in other words, putting in something else here. Maybe try to get it look like it's supported by some framing pieces or something like that. Let me try another one on the this lower section here. They do space out pretty good that way. Let's put something on the inside that can, I don't know, be indented a little bit, I think, in this case. I might swap out those round blocks with a different version, too. So something like that. And then put that there. And on the bottom side, I think we're going to want to reverse this. Put that there, and one of these here. There. Yeah, let's just get rid of those blocks right now. Let me put in the version with the solid side on it. I do like this block. It's kind of unique from a lot of other blocks. It comes in handy, especially if it did have interior area right past this. It would make a nice airtight flat wall on the inside, at least, where the other pipe pieces do not do that. Okay, let's put in a couple more blocks around here. And there. So that kind of goes hand in hand a little bit. It's a little different formation, but it's similar to what's going on in the front there. Let's bring that up. And I guess for now I'm just going to fill in these. Okay, so I don't like this inside angle here. Okay, so that's a... Yeah, okay, so we can do a little something with this, I think, too. Maybe. Yeah, let's get rid of this row of blocks for now. Oh. Well, let's try this. Kind of give it like a little bit of a inset or something, if it works. No, it's not going to actually work on that. I'll have to go with this block up here. I don't know if that's going to look good or not, though, to be honest. And some of these here. Oops. Gosh darn it. I slipped on the fingers, and I have never really assigned the F key, so occasionally I just randomly throw out whatever is in my hand onto the ground unintentionally. It happens. Okay, so I'm not liking what's going on down here because this is kind of like lined up and nice and smooth, and this part is coming out an extra block worth, or like a half a block, and that just is not going to work there. So actually, yeah, that part there is just kind of messy. Let's one way to change it would be to try to change these inside blocks here and have them bevel in before they get to this point. And I think it might line up a little bit better. Something like that. Just get a couple of these out a minute too. Let's just see how that looks. Oops. Yeah, let me just undo what I... Oh, wrong button again. Gosh darn it. Alright, pick that. There we go. So we still have that extension that kind of comes out. If I use smaller models, it doesn't need to come out as far as it is. I might try to tuck that in a little bit, but I also like the idea that it's a little bit away from the thruster. Like a lot of these blocks are going to be switched again too to better materials. Let's pull that one in more. I don't think it's going to line up right with the pipe if I do that. No, it won't. I don't know if I like that inside part there. It's a little off. So let's, nah, I don't think that's going to work either. So I'm going to try something different here. And I really want to try to make it look like there is a frame in here around the thruster, if possible. So I'm going to go about this a slightly different way. I think down here it could be a full block, and then let's kind of go up with some half blocks in these other positions. And I don't think that's going to work either. It was an idea, but yeah, I won't be able to make that like line up to any other blocks around it, so probably look out of place if I went that route. Okay, let's get a couple solid blocks in over here. Trying to see how that looks. Or I guess it almost works. Again, just this front little extensions here bothering me. So they're going to have to change too. Well, that's at least a start kind of getting this put together. Now what do I do here though? Man, yeah, you know, I'm going to have to make all these full blocks, I think. I don't think there's going to be too much else I can do with that. And then... yeah, I guess full blocks on the inside. Just trying to get a little bit more something going on in here, but I'm not seeing, like, any good options at the moment. But at least I'm trying to keep this, this line kind of rigid and straight there. Okay, so now it goes upward just past there. And that's that's a little weird too. Like, you know what I think I ought to do to get this a little bit better, maybe so I can again add a beveled edge to the front and have it work, is let's do a little copying and pasting a second here. So what I'm going to do is move this whole nose section 1 block forward from where it is now. That'll give me room to work on the transition more, which I think, you know, stuff like that can make a lot of difference, depending. But I think this might work out maybe. And I was still on the fence too if I shouldn't widen up this area too. I know it's going to make it harder than ever to fit the stuff behind it though. If I did that, like the thruster positions would have to change, and I don't know if I want to do that either. I was talking about these reverse thrusters, if I keep the back at the same width, that is. Just go up 1 more here, actually 2, and give it a little bit more on the nose just to make sure. Oh, and I didn't copy the edge there either. This side. And that's looking good enough, I think. Quick cut and paste, and we'll move you 1 block forward, and that's it. And back onto symmetry. Okay, so a little bit more room here. So I think what I was going to try to do is it does this part, right? So you got that inset, and then I'm going to try to do an angled line that's flared out a little bit, coming into this other part. Like something like that. Not so sure if I can see better in space or not. It's like I turn out the lights and then it's like I'm blinded. I can't see what's going on, and then I turn them off. I just want to see like some shadows and the blocks are lining up. I wonder if I can adjust the time of day a little bit better. See that? Yeah, maybe like right there. See how it's a little darker now, and you can kind of see your individual, I don't know, polygons, I guess you could say. It's kind of what I was looking to do, basically. Let's put a block in here. I guess there as well. And then also there. Now it's got a little something there, kind of different. I think it might work though. Let's follow this through up around the top part of this. See how that's going to work out. I think I would need this block, and we'll just kind of do a bit of a trim piece here, I guess, or something that kind of goes across there. Sort of works with the rest of the formation. And okay, so let's do a bit of an indent here as well, like something like that. Just kind of, you know, make sure that line's visible there. I'll get some more blocks back here a second. I was just kind of taking like an overall look at the shape from different angles and things like that. And you know, there's something that's still bugging me about the ship though, and I think, although I was trying to be kind of not use as many blocks in the front area, to me it just looks like it's just a little too skinny there. But to make everything work, I would have to, I think, widen the entire ship, at least at this point. But I could probably make the rear section skinnier again, too, after that. So maybe I won't copy the very back of it. Here, let's do a little more chopping here with it. Try to get this dialed in now, as opposed to later. Definitely a good thing. All right, so I'm going to go to selection. And what I want to do this time, here, let me clear my cursor. And we'll start on one side, and we'll have to do this basically twice. Something like that. Let's get it higher, and I want to bring it back to this point here, I think, before it goes into the rear section of the ship. And it should be just on one side here of the center. Okay, so that's looking alright. Let's drag it down a little bit more. A little leeway. Okay, let's see what happens with this. So we're going to do a... yeah, I'll do a cut again, I think. Cut, paste. Bring that out one block that way. I'll move this to the other side. Same spot. Okay, and cut and paste one block that way. Okay, so now our center should be the same, right down the middle block, but now we got a little bit more width overall coming through the nose. And I think that works. Yeah, I think I already kind of like it a little bit better. Not quite as skinny there. A little more room for decoys and armor and things too. I was going to have to put some blocks back in place here. Let me just kind of generically put some in there. Might give a little option here for some kind of body lines in here too. Didn't have room to do before, but maybe now. So let's try simple body line. Maybe go up to the outer edges. See if I got that paint the right way here. No. So I just want to make sure I can paint this corner piece. Yeah, like that. So it's individual from the top piece. And same thing with this one here. Save some time if you can do this right the first time. You can fix it later on too, but oh, I'm having a hard time seeing what's going on here on this one. Okay, so that is the wrong angle there. We want to turn it like that. The diamonds are on the edge. Again, hard to see. You just got to kind of know the block. Yeah, let's take that to there. Let's give it a little bit of space and do something like that back over here as well. Now that we know these blocks are already rotated correctly, it'll make it a little bit easier here. Except, yeah, maybe I should bring that in there. Let's do that here too. So I think we're gonna have to go there with it, and then probably right here with it. Alright. them back in. And here, you know what I'm going to do is push these pieces in around the turret. Get rid of that. Oh, we can actually... Now this can actually change here a little bit. Now it's got more room. This might actually be a good thing too, because I was sticking some turrets up top here, but they're kind of like over the edges. Which now they don't have to be. Even this turret, I could put one on either side, but since it's close to the front of the ship, I think I'll leave it centered. But could be done. And that there, and let's swap out those blocks. Go to this design here, and then this here. I'll probably have to swap some of these out later too to get them to paint right, so I can do the inside and the outside a little differently. I don't know if that's right now or not, but yeah. So now we got that turret there. It's got that big indentation in there, and a little bit more body line stuff. Let me fix the colors on that. Oh. Okay. Should this back part be done any different? Could make a bunch of lines in here with this kind of thing. Well, let's say, let's get these this grouping of turrets ready. So let's say the center position would be there, and we'll just grab that, move it in. Yeah, that should work. Okay, so I'm going to try to get in stuff around the turret. This might not look good right up to the edge, though. In fact, I think it's going to look kind of strange, but it might. I don't know. It's kind of cool if you can get some detail under these things. Just adds a little bit of overall detail to the creation here. Just different blocks and things. And okay, so on the front side, if I do it like I did, well, those are different now. Let's put in block like that, that side, and then here, and the center ones go away, and that would be probably one of these. Get a full block there. Okay, now the thing that I don't like is this skinny little, like, razor blade edge right here. And that can be modified. Have a little lip on there. Let's try that. So I'm going to go to this one here. And we'll have to figure out how that's going to work out for the front part there. So let's, for now, do the whole row. See, now it looks a little stronger there, like there's actually some metal sitting there, and not all sharp. Okay, the only thing is right up here in the corners. This part's a little bit problematic now. I'm gonna try something here, but I don't know if it's gonna work. But this would fit there. The problem is it's not going to align with the block of this row down here, and I don't think there's any way to make that work. No, I don't. There's not an alternative of this that has a weird edge on one side. Yeah, that's the problem with it. I'm gonna double check. I'm pretty sure there's not a part that would work there, but I just thought I'd just... Sometimes I was surprised, or maybe come across some other way to go about it. There is that block, but that'd be really weird. And that doesn't line up to nothing really. Yeah, no. Okay, so let's get rid of that again. Gotta figure out how I'm gonna do this part here. This is a bit of an issue. Wish there was one of these that kind of did what these do, where they kind of go out, like this set over here. There's like one, there's a right and left. Those are pretty cool for certain things like this, but yeah, I got no way to fit a part there or block. So man, okay. So what if it went back to that? I know everything here would fit. Then we got this hanging out over the edge. I mean, one other alternative I just thought about here would be, I don't know if this is going to work either, but it would kind of line up to that angle, but then it would force me to do a straight part that goes across the top here, which might actually work for this design because it's kind of doing that in other places too. So maybe that's a better way to go about it. There's some alternatives of this block too. Maybe get a little extra trim detail in there too. Well, it kind of looks a little stronger that way. Let's go in the center, right where the turret would be, and give it an alternative block maybe. Not like this. Here, we'll rig it for texture lights. Alright, so now this next set of turrets is going to be even crazier. So we stock on some blocks here. Let's first bring this out somewhere. And then we'll taper this in again. Probably put in I guess just one of these. Now if these somehow got left exactly where they are, one thing that's kind of neat is you see that kind of V pattern where the turrets are kind of all angling up at an angle there. I kind of think that looks sort of neat in a weird way. But that means the turrets would have to, this set of turrets would have to stay right where they are and not be pushed towards the center. That might be able to be done though, if I can make a nice looking pedestal or something for it. I could try to elevate this one. Something I've done on some past ships, trying to get the turrets in place too. Maybe put in some different angling to kind of make it look like they're just kind of up over the top, like on purpose here. And you can actually get rid of that bottom block, put in one of these things. Let's get rid of that. I'll do weird things like this rather than like changing the block. Sometimes if you go between your symmetry left and right, you already got the block you need. pedestals just to give it that line of sight. Okay, but we got a little bit of indentation on the bottom row, and I'm going to try to put some of that into the top for some uniformity as well. At the same row, though. So I think that would be on this block spacing here. Let's see how far back we can go with that. Maybe to about there. And we'll grab the corner pieces. Something like that. Let's put another one of these here. And here. We don't need those anymore. Alright. Actually, you know, on this design here, that's more of a full row there. This could be, you know what? For now, let's go with full blocks here again. I do like the width better already, though. I think it was just a little, just felt too skinny. So over here, this is kind of in the middle. Now let's do one other little cosmetic thing. Put in one of these on either side. Now we can just even come in with a full block here. Seal up the stuff behind it. Alright, so that part's alright. So now we got this, and to start to tie into this back part of the ship a little bit better. It's not entirely yet. Did that. Alright, so now we've got facings on this, this chunk here. And I want it more than just plain walls coming across here. So I'm thinking, I don't know, let's try to set up some kind of thing. Hard to explain what that thing's going to be quite yet, but I may try again to add some kind of turny, spinny, tanky thing. Figure out where that would have to be at. Okay, so that would be kind of not quite right. That's inset. You know what, actually, I think in this case, maybe I should have it come out a little bit. Maybe if it started there and did that, and on the top, no. There. Just not going to work super well anyway. I try it. I was hoping I could spread out the angle a little bit more here. Let's try it one more time. Let's that there, that there. Maybe swap that around here, and then that there. Now I get a bigger angle. I'm just curious if that sticks out a little too far. It looks kind of weird or not. It's almost like it kind of works, except for this front area. I wonder if I shouldn't bevel that with some round blocks too. just does not look like it's going to work, though. It should. Yeah, I guess it will. I got that. Yeah, this is just for decoration, just trying to add, I don't know, things to it to make it look snazzier, I guess you could say. Just gotta figure out what I want to do with it though, because I don't want to like do that same pattern across the entire side either. But maybe if I had like right past the turret, if I had like some kind of break up there, and I just kind of went with this to that point. We have a break up there, and maybe I don't know if I should do another one of these or not. I'm also kind of curious, is it possible to maybe put in... No, it isn't. Yeah, thrusters there. I was thinking if I could like mount some kind of side turret there or something like that, but yeah, I don't think that's gonna work either. I wonder, can I make this look indented somehow with this block type? I don't think I can. Like, I can't put... Oops. There's not like a skinnier version of this that I could have it like go a half block in and maintain that angle. I don't know how much piping I want to embrace on this, but it could work maybe for this build. Something like that, and then put in something that'll fit here. See what it looked like with backing blocks there. So I don't mind having, like, it's fairly, again, it's fairly rigid, but then just occasionally you got like a nice round piece. It really kind of screws you up if you're looking at this it's like Minecraft being a voxel creation. First, the angles will screw you up a little bit, and second, adding in the rounds and other stuff like that, I think it just kind of makes it look not like a voxel creation, and that's always what I'm trying to do, is make voxel creations not look like voxel creations. Typically, general way I go about a lot of this stuff here. All right, so I don't want to continue this forever though. I'm gonna have like 2 of these, so I think I'll end this part at the same length as the other one, which is 3 of those, and then it curves off. So that would work there, and then we'll do something else in the this back chunk. So it's not the same. Okay, so even back here, even if it was kind of angry like it is, I guess, could work. Oh. Yeah, kind kind of unusual. It's just there. That's cool. Alright, so I want to do something in here, though, but I'm not sure what yet. But I don't want it to be that. Or really any roundy stuff here. So what options are there? There is this alternative version of this that kind of is flared on one side. I wonder if like just something subtle like that would look alright enough or not. Kind of boring though. Kind of looks like there's some kind of plate there or something. You know what? Could set that off better though. Just doing that. Maybe getting rid of that. And we could put in. Let's try to do something really different. Some of this stuff. So we can add one there, and we can rotate that around. Add one there. The center could do maybe a double, like or something like that. I kind of like that. A little fine detail on the surface. Kind of goes with the flow of the other kinds of cut-in formations that it's got in places. Now here, on the bottom of this, maybe we should look at some other kind of block here. Something like that, and then that. No. I'll just those instead. That's kind of cool. I don't mind. I don't mind that. I don't know about that centerpiece right there, though. That was there's not a thin one where there's one on either side, though. There is, however, these funky blocks here. Which one is uniform? Is it that one? No. Oh, that one is, but it's all square and centered. How about that one? It's kind of uniform. Yeah, it's not going to look right, though. So, it's all square. I think the only one that would kind of work is that one, but it's, nah. Yeah, I'll just leave it how that is right now. Alright, so that's another bit of a surface area there. Let's try to get this part built up in here. And trying to think on how I want to go about this. I wonder if I should build up on it. That. I wonder if this one was instead this one. Oh, yeah, we gotta tie that into this part here too. Oh, that's gonna get really tricky. I got a lot of funky angles clashing together in this zone here. Oh, I got an idea. Okay. This might work. It may look kind of funky. Like I'm gonna move this turret back for now, so I can swap out some of these blocks. And let's try to embrace the funky angle. Well, I wouldn't say funky angle, but this shape. Which I can't. Oh, because that's a 45. So, what would that look like if I did do a 45 there? Won't line up to the other block on the bottom, at least for now. Let's do a transition here. Let's go from 45 to a 22.5. What block? Ah, yes, just a good old this one. And this could be have a bevel of some type up here. This part. Try one more little area with some curves and see if it works or not. Yeah, a little excuse me, a little contrast on the block stuff there, I guess. And typically I'll build a hull like this and then I'll make a lot of changes later on too, looking at it some more. I just try to get these areas banged out, and then I kind of observe them for a while later, and if something else comes to mind, then go for it. Try to get more and more detail in these things. Still gonna have to dive into figure out that bridge area too. Okay, so now we got another chunk over here on the sides of this piece. I think I'm going to try to do something that might look like a kind of extension plate, but pretty smooth, generally speaking. I went with a couple of those, and then put in, I might do this idea again. I did that in the other part, and I think that was actually kind of cool. We're different. Still got that center point, but I can't quite get something in there. But yeah, it kind of looks like an extra little plate there. You know, if we can do something on the top and bottom too. Oh yeah, let's try to just bevel this out here. And I kind of want that around the turret anyway, so it's got a thicker wall, otherwise it'd be a real sharp thing, especially if I put in those round blocks around the turret. And to keep things uniform, I probably ought to do that on the bottom side too. Shadow's looking really funky right here. I guess it's alright. Here, you know what? Let's also try to make this whole thing a little darker for now. Maybe that'll be easier to see. Still got to work out these wing things too. I'm gonna try to shorten that, and make it come in better, and the same thing with these front ones. They need some help too. Let me seal off a couple more things in the build here a second. Seen some holes in places. Oh yeah, we got the bottom side here too. But yeah, let's get that and that. Trying to keep it so all kind of keeps uniform too, so it's all different but fits, and that's a big thing. Some of my earlier builds I had problems with that. It wasn't until when I really redid the Persis carrier with the CV2 version that I realized things about like body lines and things that would be flow from like one part to the other, and that would be kind of a neat thing for this ship too, to get some kind of side ridge line that is kind of uniform across the build, and maybe I'll try to do that at one of these lines. I'm thinking maybe this bottom line on this one, or I don't know. Okay, well anyway, this wall area here has to be figured out as well. Obviously, I don't want to do what I did on the top side, and I kind of want something in here, but not the same, but that will kind of like line up to it maybe. I don't think that's even going to be possible. Okay, so that goes to, so let's take out all those blocks and put something in there. Oh, that doesn't even, yeah, it does. That kind of is lining up to that piece, and that lines up to that piece, and then you got the two in here, but this is kind of indented on this side, so okay. I'm wondering if I should just go real simple here and do something like it's just kind of recessed in there a little bit. And then try to line that up to another section of this. Take a look at some block options again here. I do not want to do more curvy. But be kind of a weird line like that. Nah. I don't think there's much I can really put here, except for what you would expect to be there. Yeah, it's awfully boring. Here, let's build this up on both sides. Another row. It'd be kind of cool if this looked like some kind of door or some kind of thing that would open or do something. It doesn't have to. Obviously, it won't do anything. I don't want to put actual doors there, but have to look better than just a cutout rectangle, though. Let's see. So, let's try to go to some different blocks. Let's try to make some hinges. Hinge there, and we have a center point, which is awesome. Hinge there, maybe. And on the bottom side, what if we did a thin round? So kind of maybe what, oops, looked like it rolled out or something. Okay, what if the bottom block was different? Oh, that's just a little thin block there already. Nah. Okay, I guess I don't like the little roundy thing at the bottom. Just to line up the rest of the angles here. Not much is going to, though. There is, of course, this, but that ain't gonna do anything for it. What if we look at this a different way? Like reverse it. Maybe reverse it with center. Let's get rid of that. Maybe this should just be repetitive. Keep the angle the same. I'll do that on this back part, but not have that formation in it. And maybe yeah, I'll try to go just like legit smooth here, maybe. I can't see it again. Gosh darn it. God, it just drives me nuts. I can never find a good lighting environment ever, anywhere, like, to work on this stuff. Yeah, this. I'm gonna probably redo that chunk, but let's move on. Let's try to get this bottom piece fashioned into the hall here somehow. Try to keep it looking right. Not exactly sure how I want to go about this yet. I was thinking about doing like this skid plate kind of thing. Like it would follow this angle and then kind of go up around here and then under, and kind of looks like it was, this part was like resting on that part of it. I don't, again, like most of this I don't know really what it's going to look like until I do it. It's kind of a thick skid plate though. I wish it was thinner. But this might work. I don't know. We'll see. Let's run that up another one. And I got an idea. Once it gets to about there, put in one of these again, which is kind of doing that on other parts of the ship too. let's try to do that. And that. Let's get some blocks in here for now. Why does this part look all messed up? I guess it's not. I'll try something else here. See how this works out. Now it's going to be all like block fill on the top side, so I'm not worried about having like interior space gaps or weird things like that. I'm just kind of curious what would happen if I try to put in something that looked like some kind of built-in, I don't know, frame piece or something. Probably even do, oops, that over here. And we can, again, yeah, this might even be Xenoblock or something here, but for now I'm just gonna put in blocks above that. And let's also do something here. Bit too much of that same formation though. Here, how about at the bottom we yeah, let's do what we did on the other location on the ship. I should have saved that block. Oh well. Do like that. Oh yeah, actually we'd want to keep it so it's lined up. Actually, I'm going to get rid of that one too, so we don't need that top one in place. That kind of works out with the formation, sort of, except for this part. Because of the pipe in the middle. We'll just keep it. Okay, so we've got a really funky turret position on the bottom side here too, which should be used. Maybe it'll be a centered single turret in the center, and we'll want to modify these blocks so it's kind of coming up around there, right? And I was debating if I wanted to hollow this out more around here or not. Could do something like that. Alright, so we got a little more hole over here yet. Again, I'm always looking to try to do shapes, formations, details, any which way, shape, or form. I guess that fits. But yeah, needs more. What would work there? You know, this could be a legit turret position right here too, I think. Although we got one back over here, but maybe I'll push that forward to this location instead. Then we can just do like something very similar to what's already going on the other part. And yeah, let's try something even a little bit different here. Let's just put in some half blocks. I think it'll line up to the pipe. And then kind of make a bit of a line there. Stick a turret here. So then we can, I guess this back one can go bye-bye. Alright, so we've got this big chunk. It goes from the front to the back. And I think I'm just going to use a simple method again here of building like a little thing that can be painted separately in here. Trying to do the same type of formation that I was doing on the bottom side. So let's say we start it there. See if I got this right. I hate turning all the blocks later. Okay, that's right. And then all the way to there. Let's do a double. Put like one of those here so it kind of lines up to the thruster. And we'll give it like, and maybe another one. I was kind of looking how it lined up to the top beams here. Maybe neither. Let's take those two and just have them just square. Just say there's a square line here. Okay, so we got another chunk right here. Let's try to get some other kind of formation in this general location. Now, whatever it is, it could have some extra blocks down below it too in this section. Maybe I ought to do that. Yeah, let's try that. Do something a little bit different here. Actually embrace a little bit of thin blocks, since it shouldn't disrupt anything. Don't exactly have a center spot though. No, let's bring it back one side from there. We just do 3. Put in some corners. And alright, then let's put in some of these that kind of go with it. Kind of a neat angle. Okay, now on the inside we're gonna just try to make this freaky. That'd be a pretty odd formation. And then on the center, I'll do a bevel up here. Like that. And how about instead of that, let's go with a half round type of thing. That. That's a little different. Here, let's get this all. Oops. Let's turn it. Alright, so that's definitely more of the nose is getting done there. I guess one more chunk. Still want to get this part banged off here. Sort of stopped, and I think what I want to do is kind of follow the same angle from the top side, kind of going down to the bottom side here. So it'll be like that. Oh, except we don't want to do that. I don't know. I'd have to do it on the top side too. If I had that flare out, then it would kind of... No, honestly, it doesn't get in the way of the thruster, but it does screw with this bottom piece here, which would look kind of funky. Yeah, no, let's just leave it how it is, I guess. Alright, so we got this kind of curve in here. Now it has to get to this level here. This is where it's going to get kind of crazy, I think. Now let's do a double. Double here. Which really doesn't work very well. And that kind of works. Just missing the backing block there. Yeah. Guess I'm on board with it yet. Since we're doing so much here, let's do something about this this area up here too. And I think let's do another one of these formations here. Okay, so now as in the bridge neck, I think what I'm going to do is we'll have this come out a little bit just on the bottom row here, maybe. I do have another block row there. So this could be just a row of these, at least going along the turret for now. Well, let's just bring that back. Well, then again, you know, the bridge neck was not supposed to be very big either. It's supposed to be kind of like go up, get to the bridge, and be done. Not go like super far back into the creation here. And the shaping on the bridge too, I'm not sure if I want to keep what's going on here now or not. There are some alternative parts I could try. It is kind of a weird, funky angle that I don't mind. Just kind of unique. Well, I say some more is done. I think that's a good stopping point. I do got to eat lunch and probably doing another play video here in a little bit after that. But yeah, kind of getting more and more excited about it. Now, keep in mind, I have been reading all the comments on how to like gear this up with decoys, and you know, make sure you got a lot of like, make sure that this thing can take hopefully a whole ton of hits from the front side. I mean, it would be impossible to make the entire ship take a ton of hits from all directions because it would just be too heavy. So definitely gonna have to focus a lot of armor in this front area here. But I think, yeah, I like the width increase. It's gonna be really important to try to make these this whole back end or the thruster setup look really good too. Right now, I haven't even thought about that yet. Just trying to get the front part of the hull all built out here and try to get it looking good from the top side and the bottom side and the whole ball of wax here. But yeah, it's got some breakups and some things in it just to keep you guessing. But it kind of looks mostly uniform. I do wonder though if like this area back here shouldn't in fact be more, oops, more, gosh darn it. Keeps jumping as soon as I want to get it in place there. Alright. Did I even do that right? Yeah. Maybe that ought to be like that. I don't know. I might, yeah, might still work on that. This is kind of weird, but it sort of looks like it kind of would work. Except that block there. Maybe it's not even that block. Maybe it's the one below it. Let's do a quick little touch up here. I'm going to try to bring the angle in a little different. To do that instead. And take a look at what the top side looks like. Guess it doesn't matter there. Oh, we got another one, missing one here. I wonder if this side's here. I'm going to try to adjust the light one more time and see if I can pull up some, yeah, maybe something like that. It's like impossible to see the bottom side though, unless you turn on your spotlight like right up close to it. It's always the case, unless you're in space and you flip it upside down, so you can see or get the sunlight on the bottom side of it. All right, well, anyway, more work, more progress. Pretty happy. Don't mind it so far. Again, any recommendations and stuff would be helpful. I have been keep in mind I am going through a lot of those. Again, if you missed the other videos, I'm not going to have this come stock with any guns, and you're going to be putting on whatever you like on it. But it's going to be kind of tailored. The whole ship's going to be tailored to be a Core 9. I think, which is fair for Legacy. I can't imagine that you couldn't get a couple of superior cores by the time you're going into Legacy space. And then I'm going to try to, I don't know, make it tough with a lot of places to put guns and upgradable beyond Core 9 as well. Probably, I think it goes to like Core 13 or something like that. Like 2 aux cores and 2 quantum cores. It's possible to put in these yet. I want it to have reasonably good radar as well. That's another feature in there. Other than like hangar space and stuff, I don't believe it's going to have any hangar. It will have a landing pad. And then this the areas that's back in this trunk of the ship main, I'm going to try to keep a lot of stuff right in the center here. But there might be a little bit that comes into first part of this area too. That'll be all like your, I don't know, any shield parts or your generators or whatever. I got to figure out power management on this thing too, and all that fun stuff. It's possible some of the thrusters also get converted over to plasma variants of what they're doing. I'm not sure which ones yet, or I guess I'll have to identify that after I get it heavier with all the stuff on it, and then I could manually kind of like tweak the thrusters from that point. But other than that, yeah, you all have yourself a great day, and I will talk to you later.